the story that I chose that really resonated with me was Alex Smith. He recently just retired from football, and it wasn't made as like a thing that he just sporadically thought. It wasn't because of an injury that happened to him that everybody, of course, knows. But I just kind of want to talk about like what he was able to go through, what he had to go through during his NFL career. That it's not just the leg, but it's also the different things that led up into him having to endure this leg injury and actually beating it.
I would imagine that played so much on his like mental stability to like know that the fact that like he might like, bro, I don't know how he was able to walk again after that. Like that was such a gruesome ass hit.
Yeah.
And then just the leg itself was just so gruesome.
It just tells you what type of resiliency this man has, especially when it comes to his career. And it's not surprising because he was able to bounce back whenever something, kind of put him down. So let's talk about it right here. This is a story from The Athletic. This is where I read it from. So what he was kind of mentioning and highlighting that brought him down was his first NFL head coach, Mike Nolan, publicly called him out for not being able to play with a shoulder injury that left his throwing arm literally dangling out of his socket.
That's pathetic, bro.
Yeah, that's your head coach.
That's pathetic.
And you're brand new, and they're wanting you to play through that where it's literally dangling out of your socket there.
Yeah.
We have right here his replacement. He was then replaced, Mike Nolan, by Mike Singletary. He berated Smith on the sideline on national television in a game, and then the crowd started chanting, "We want Carr, we want Carr," and that is David Carr, who was the backup there sitting on the bench.
The David Carr.
The David Carr. No, that's Derek Carr.
Fuck.
That's his brother, David Carr.
Oh, he has a brother? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was selected first, number 1 overall. But let's get back into this one here. And then you had your two head coaches who don't believe in you as a starting quarterback get called out, and then you have the fans not being behind you, and then you had to watch, once you had a great team in the 49ers right there, watch Colin Kaepernick after you get sidelined for a concussion.
Just ball out on
Just
him
ball out.
and steal all the fame.
Take him
and
to the Super Bowl.
glory. Oh, man.
So it's like he was saying that it felt like you were feeding a slot machine and then somebody else came in when you went to the restroom and then they got the jackpot. So that's Colin Kaepernick getting the jackpot right there.
Oh, definitely.
But so then after that, he went to the Chiefs. He did his thing. He would show that he was actually a competent quarterback, a winning quarterback. Maybe not when it comes to the playoffs. I think he won like one game in the playoffs, honestly.
I think it was one.
But after that, he then goes to the Washington. I think it's the Redskins.
At the time, it was the Redskins.
I think it was the Redskins where he got hurt.
Yeah.
Suffered a broken leg in 2018 that led to his an infection that severely, just kept him down. And it was like 12 different surgeries.
I didn't know. I knew he had 12 surgeries because the way that like the leg broke, like it was damn near completely shattered. I didn't. This is new to me. I did not know it was infected.
Yeah, so that's why he needed to have all those different types of surgeries, because they needed to clean it and then reclose it. And then at the same time, there was a part where he was thinking that his leg could have came out. So everybody knows the story, all that. I just want to kind of let that be known that has happened to him. So not only these things internally, but then also his leg, and then now what he had to do on this Redskins team, or excuse me, the Washington football team,
well, at the time,
who was going through all these different things. Well, no. Well, he was the Redskins when he got hurt, but now it's the Washington football team when they went to the playoffs. He led this team to the playoffs after, I think it was like a 6-4 or 4-6 start. He was able to make a run at the end and then be able to perform. So overall, this is the same guy that had a concussion, got called out by his coaches, injury that almost costed him his life. And now he's like, kind of calls it quits, especially after a season where he led this team into the playoffs. He wasn't able to provide in the playoffs because of his injuries, which sucked.
Yeah.
And I just feel like you already proved that you were able to come back and perform at a high level. Why? Aaron Donald tackled him, sacked him, and was just on top of him, and this guy was able to hold him up very, very, he was strong. He had a good, stable front. I'm just saying, though, I don't want to continue to see that happen to him, especially with the man like Aaron Donald on your back. That's just scary.
Oh, fuck.
So I think that his injury definitely played a part in it. But for me, it's just great to see Alex Smith, after every single time he was torn down, he was able to get back up, win divisions, get to the playoffs, win in the playoffs, his first playoff game, with the Kansas City Chiefs. And then at the same time, continue to get breaking down just to get lifted back up. So it felt like he always was challenged, and then he was able to come through with it. I think this decision wasn't necessarily a challenge to him because he was able to – it said he made his decision while he's skiing with his kids recently, right? So this guy kind of figured out another thing to kind of either fill that void, or he felt like he was already accomplished. And then he's like, this is an opportunity. Are these if I quit football, more of these types of opportunities like skiing with my kids and my family will be out there. So for him, he's going out on his own word because he performed in his last season. This is not something that was, I'm injured, like I can't do it anymore. And kudos to the people who are unable to do that, perform because of an injury. But he was able to get over all of his obstacles and barriers. So I just wanted to bring that up and say happy retirement to you, Alex Smith. What a story. What an amazing career. Number 1 overall pick. And consistency when it comes to like what he was able to do for a franchise.
Nah, man. Definitely Alex Smith, man. What a career. Great quarterback. It sucks. It sucks to see shit like that happen to you. Well, to quarterbacks. Man. Happy retirement, Alex Smith. That's all I can say, really. Like you really came through so much. Like nothing. I can't even like put words to it, bro. Because
it just sucks.
Yeah.
Well, not to cut you off, but it just sucks that like every time it felt like it was gonna work out, something happened.
Yeah.
Imagine him in, on what were the Redskins, now that the Washington football team, what he was able to do for them before the injury, and then even just bringing somebody up, the way that they developed Patrick Mahomes, he was able to sit behind an Alex Smith who was coming in early, leaving late at night, and really feeding into the people who were under him. So, again, happy retirement to Alex Smith.
Happy retirement.